Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the two topics. The first topic is organized and unorganized, disorganized complexities, and second one is the bringing order of chaos. Okay, so in the first topic, we are going to discuss about this organized and disorganized complexities. So, what do you mean by the generally in terms? What do you know by the organized and disorganized? Organized is nothing but one which is kept in a right order, and disorganized means one which is very clumsy and that which cannot be understandable, right? So here, organized complexity means nothing but it is nothing but the known known complexity. Okay, and disorganized means unknown complexity. Okay, so what do you mean by this known and the unknown means what are the complexities or the difficulties that arises during the development of the software? Okay, so organized means known difficulties and disorganized means unknown difficulties that what they arise there. Okay, so coming to the topic now, organized difficult complexities means. So let us take this with an example. Okay. So if we have a pilot, we all know the pilot who is the one who drives the flight, right? So if a pilot is there, and if the pilot, a person can become a pilot if they have undergone all the training process that has been given. So then after that training, they will become a pilot, right? So initially, a pilot can fly. There is a no problem. So because how he can fly, because he is trained and he know all the process of how to start a flight and how to take off and how to land. He know everything there. So there is no complexity in that. Suppose if a pilot who is driving an aircraft has been given an multi-engine jet. Okay, if the pilot has been given a jet engine, so what is the difficulty here? So no more new types of difficulties here. So what is the one thing he has to do? He has to go for the orientation to how to maintain with the multiple engines of a jet. Okay. So after learning that, he can easily go with that. So that is nothing but the known difficulty or the organized complexity. Okay, because he already know what is that process, and additionally he has to gain some knowledge there to solve that problem. So that is nothing but the known complexity or the organized complexity. Coming to the case of this disorganized complexity means here, even though a person is trained, the tasks that are being assigned to that person that which he cannot manage is called as an disorganized complexity. See, understand the difference between the organized and the disorganized. In the both cases, we are having a trained person. That means it can be a pilot or it can be a software engineer. Okay, anyone. But here, if a pilot in the case of this organized, if the pilot has been given a new type of the aircraft, then by the simple orientation of how this is going to work and what is its behavior, he can easily take away that flight. But but here, if some disorganized complexity has been assigned to a person, so that disorganized means, suppose if a pilot, what is his duty? His duty is to take off the flight and to land the flight. Okay, and also to maintain the several things like the engine functioning, and also the fuel levels that he has to check, and about the how the weather is, right? How weather is, that he has to check and he has to do. But does he can maintain this ATC, air traffic control, which is on the ground from the above? No, it is not possible, and it is not possible for the only one person to maintain even from the things which are happening on fly and also on the ground. Okay, so this is nothing but the disorganized complexity. He can do he can learn in new to the advanced level, and he can take off and come with a flight, but he cannot have the capability to manage the things which are happening on the ground. Okay, that means he cannot make this air traffic control which is located at the ground. He cannot do the scheduling of the flights. Okay, so for all this, and another person of the team on the ground has to be responsible. Okay, so that is nothing but the disorganized complexity. Okay, now to handle the situations of this organized complexities and the disorganized complexities, we are moving to the canonical form of a complex system. Okay, so what this canonical form means, it is nothing but it is going to take everything in the form of the objects and objects which are having the similar properties and which are going to exhibit in the same way. To that, they are going to take that objects as a class. So nothing but canonical form means it is going to take in the form of everything. Now to handle any complexities of a given system, it is now going to take the form of the class and the object. So it is nothing but here now object oriented method. Okay, so now we in the OOP already you have studied what is a class and what is an object, and you also know what do you mean by an entity, right? Hope you all know that. Okay, so here objects means objects are an individual entities, and next class means nothing but the group of objects which are having the which are going to exhibit the same similar characteristics, right? Now here we are going to see how this complete canonical form is. Okay, the canonical form will have the classes and the objects, and hence these classes and objects are arranged in an hierarchic structure. Okay, so we don't have simply the classes, and we have here the classes here, and we have here the objects here. Okay, and these both there has to be the connection between the number of the classes that are there in the system. Okay, this is nothing but the interconnection between those. Okay, and next, and only not only having this interconnection, the canonical form means not only having here like this as the C1 class, C2 class, C3 class, and here the C4 class like this, not only by having simple interactions between them, but arranging those classes in this hierarchic structure is nothing but the canonical form of a class and an object. Okay, not only simply having the classes as a together and also having the relationships between them. Okay, arranging those classes in a hierarchical order. Okay, and arranging the objects according to their hierarchical order is nothing but the canonical form of a complex system. This you has to be clear. This has to be clear to you. Okay, what do you mean by canonical form? A canonical form is nothing but it consists of an classes and objects of a system where classes and objects are arranged according to their hierarchic structure. Okay, this is known to us. Next. And next thing is here, this hierarchic structure between the classes and the hierarchic structure between these objects is going to have the two types of relationships. One is called as an is a, and next second one is called as an part of. Okay, is a and part of. Okay, so when we can say this is a is nothing but this is related to the class. Okay, from here, so if we take this one as an example here of this structure, what this diagram what we are having, we can simply say here as C1 is an one class. Okay, and and from this diagram, according to the saying of this hierarchic structure, we can tell that the C1 is an main class, and from that it is having the subclasses of C2, C3, and C4. Okay, so from this diagram, can we tell that the C4 is a class of class C4 is a class, C1 is a class, C3 is a class. Classes are going to be said with an is a relationship. Okay, not only an individual class is going to be said as like the C1 is a class or C2 is a class. We can also tell that the C4, if we have taken the C4 is having its connection at its hierarchy to its lower level with the C6 and to the higher level at the C1. Okay, by using this hierarchy, what we are going to tell is we can tell that C4 is a class or that which also belongs to the C1. Okay, we can tell that we have to tell from the lower level to its higher level, and we can say here that the C6 is a class which has the relationship or which is a C6 which is also a C4, and we can tell that the C2 which is also a C1. C2 is a class which is also a class of a C1. Okay, that means the derived classes can also be said as the classes of its above root class. Okay, like that, similarly we are having the relation called as an part of. Okay, part of is a word or that is going to be assigned to the objects. Okay, is the term that is assigned to the classes, and part of is belongs to the objects. Okay, now seeing this diagram, I'm going to zoom that you can see now. Okay, so here we are having the different objects starting here from D1, object 1, object 2, 3, 4, object 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and coming to the eighth one here, object 8, O8. Okay, so here from this what we can see here, object 8. Okay, this object 8 has the entities inside this. How many entities we are having here related to this object? 1, 2, 3 are the objects we are entities we are having, right? So these entities, one of the entity is also belonging to the class C6. Okay, and these two entities are also belonging to the class C7. Okay, so we can tell that this entity, suppose if we take this as the entity 1, entity 2, and entity 3, we can tell that entity 1 of the object 8, this is an object 8, right? Completely this is an object. So the entity 1 of an object 8 is a part of the class C6. Do you understand how we are going to tell the relation? Next, the entity 2 and entity 3 of the object 8 are a part of the class C7. Okay, I hope you understand this. Okay, so once again I'm going to tell the canonical form is nothing but it is going to take the class and objects in an hierarchic structure. Okay, and in that hierarchic structure also it is not going to take the classes and the objects in the wake. How it is going to organize is according to the order and from what it is going to be derived, it is going to assign that in that way, and it is going to have the connections. That connections is nothing but the relationships. For the classes, the relationship is said as is a class, and for the objects, it is said as a part of part of. That means an object is going to be a part of a class. Okay. And next, the next one we are having here is the what is the limitation of the human capacity to deal with this complexity? Okay, so what do you mean by the limitation here? Limitation is nothing but the things that which cannot the human that the humans can do, right? Limitation is nothing but the things that we cannot do. That cannot be done. So what are the things that the what are the limitations, or what are things that the human cannot done for dealing with the complexity? So it is nothing but assigning of the complete task to the single person is the limitation here. That means assigning of the whole project development or for the whole software development to the single person is the limitation. Okay, so this is only the one limitation. And hence this organized and the disorganized complexities topic has been ended. So here once again I'm going to tell that canonical form is nothing but before the canonical form we are having the organized and the disorganized complexities, and the organized complexities can be solved by having the prior training or the prior knowledge on that. And coming to case of this, to handle this disorganized complexities, we are having the method called as a canonical form. So how this canonical form is going to work is, it is going to take the classes and the objects. Okay, or methods it is going to use, object oriented methods it is going to use, and by using those methods it is going to arrange the classes and the objects in a hierarchic structure. Okay, and it is going to tell the relation between these classes and the objects by using the two methods. One is for the classes it is going to use is a, and for the objects it is going to use the part of. So by this method it is going to solve the disorganized complexities, that means that which cannot be solved easily. Okay, and what is the limitation here is assigning the whole work of solving this disorganized complexity to the single person is an limitation here. Okay, next, coming to the next topic. So this is the topic very much related to how to develop a complex system. How to develop a complex system. Okay, so how we are going to develop? So this means bringing order of chaos means it is nothing but it is nothing but how to come in an order to solve the problems of the complexities. Okay, that means it is nothing but here we are having the three main principles to bring all the complexities into an order and for the development of the system. Okay, we are having these three principles. So of that, the first one is nothing but the abstraction, second one is nothing but the hierarchy, and the third one is nothing but the decomposition. Okay, so moving on to the topic of this abstraction. Okay, so what do you mean by this abstraction? So here abstraction is the first technique that we are going to deal for to solve the complexity of a system. It is a technique to solve complexity of system. Okay, so how we are going to do this is, okay, so here I'm going to tell with you with an example. In the first classes of this subject, we have studied about the structure of a complex systems. Okay, so there what we have studied about the structure of a we have studied about the structure of a computer, structure of a plant, animal, matter, and an institutions, right? So now we are going to talk about the structure of a plant. There we have studied what are the components of a plant and also what is the complex mechanism involved there. Photosynthesis, right? Okay, there also we have talked only about the photosynthesis process, that is which is related to the leaf only. About to the leaf only we have discussed it there. Okay, but we have not, and whenever we know about, we are going to discuss about this photosynthesis, we'll take about up to the leaf, and also we'll go with them like the chemical equation of a for the photosynthesis of a plant. What is that chemical equation which is related to the plant, to the leaf only we are going to study. But we are going to leave the more complex topics like the chemical equation or the chemical reactions that is going to happen within the stem and with at the roots, okay, and inside the fruit or flowers, okay. So inside all that, inside topics are we are going to leave, okay. So how we can solve the complexity of a given system is having the complete and the clear insight of an top of an system can give the clear abstraction. Okay, so what we have discussed up to this photosynthesis is the correct one only, but we haven't made the complete analysis over the system. Only a part of the analysis we had made. Okay, but this understanding of this also, okay, what is that going to happen during the photosynthesis, and during the photosynthesis for the stems, roots, and inside the fruit and all that, that is the complexity at the next level. Okay, so abstraction is nothing but, okay, the first principle is abstraction, which is going to tell that complete insight of complete insight of system. So how we can do this? This can be done by the proper analysis. Okay. Okay. And next, coming to the case of the next one is nothing but the hierarchy. So already we know what do you mean by the hierarchy is nothing but the organizing that from the higher level to its a lower level. Okay, so if we are again how this hierarchy is going to play its role is similarly, if we don't understand the system completely, we'll organize the things in an disorganized manner, and hence this disorganized manner is going to cause a problem. Okay, so here in order to solve this issue, we are going to use this canonical form that already that we have discussed, right? Next, the most important thing that we are going to discuss here is the third principle, nothing but the decomposition. Okay, so these two already you are aware a little from the previous classes, and also now you are completely aware. Now decomposition is the new thing that you are going to learn. So what do you mean by the decomposition, and how this is going to work? Okay, so the decomposition is nothing but it is the process by which we can solve the complexity of a system. This is the main technique that which is related to solve the complexity. Complexity is nothing but to develop a new system. Okay, to develop that, what is that we are going to have is, we have here two approaches to solve to do that. Okay, one is by using an algorithmic method, and other one is an object oriented method. So till now we have studied about this algorithmic method only, where this is a traditional approach, and what's the difference between this algorithmic approach and this object oriented is, algorithm is that what we know since from the long time. Okay, there we are going to start with this traditional approach, and next here it is a modern approach. That is the main difference. And next here in the algorithm, we are going to separate with an we are going to separate each and every event. Okay, but here we are going to do everything with the help of these objects and classes. Okay, and here the decomposition will show that by using this arrow marks, but here we'll show that decomposition by using the messages. Okay, and this algorithmic process is difficult to maintain, whereas this is object oriented methods are easy to maintain. And suppose if we want to make any changes to the system also, we can easily make that related changes. Now we are going to see this algorithmic decomposition. Okay, so in this algorithmic decomposition, it is going to follow the process called as an top-down approach. Okay, so what do you mean by the top-down approach? It starts with then a main problem, and next, by taking the each and individual step, it is going to move to the next, right? So we all are already aware of using an algorithm. How do? We first do with the start. That is a one event, right? Here in an algorithmic decomposition method, everything will happen with the help of this events only. Depending upon the events happening, we are going to divide the complex system into its subsystems. Okay, we are going to develop this complex system into its subsystems. But coming to the case of this, here, what is that going to happen? So, and here, what is the one more problem? When this start is an one event. Next, moving to the take the input values. This is an one event. Next, from that. So the flow of the events is here just shown with an arrow marks. And if suppose if you are going to make any decisions, then we are going to have here as either true. If true means it is going to proceed with this side of the true, and suppose if it is false, it is going to move on to the another side and it is going to work. Okay, so and here suppose if we want to make the any changes dynamically, then what we have to do, again we have to come inside this algorithm and we have to make the necessary changes. That is the problem. So to overcome this problem of enhancing, we are moving to the concept of object oriented decomposition. Okay, so in this object oriented decomposition, how it is going to work is it is also having this arrow marks, but there will be a message on this arrow marks which is going to convey an important information between the any two classes or between the any two objects. Okay, so that information conveying is nothing but the interaction between the classes and the objects. Okay, with between the two classes or between the two objects, okay, anything it is going to have with an arrow marks with an message on that. Okay, so and that message is nothing but the interaction which is going to show to us. So here we have a sample example. Here we have here the master file. Okay, so what is this message going to tell us? An arrow mark is there and it is going to tell that on that update. Okay, that means this master file can be updated and get the formatted update file updates. So it is going to get this formatted update. Okay, next update to card. Okay, get reformatted. Okay, next this is going to have the match. And next create. So that means if we have to create any new thing, the new card, then it is having the master record, and it is going to check whether is valid. That means the credentials that they have given by that user are the valid or not, that it is going to check here. Okay, so we have here simply the classes, and this from this classes, this is a one which is going to show, and here it is having then interaction message which is going to tell how this and these two classes are going to interact. Okay, so I hope you all understand how this is going to work with the help of these messages, and in the rest all topics we are going to talk about this object oriented methods and how we have to decompose a complex system into an object oriented method. The time is running out, and does anyone has any doubts? You can view this class again in your YouTube channel. Okay. Sir, have you taken the attendance, sir? Sir, have you taken the attendance, sir?
Done.
Okay.
Done, madam.
Okay, sir. So this is going to end, the class is going to end in a few seconds. Does anyone has any